Welcome to this very chaotic last episode of Game of Wool, or episode of the review of Game of Wool. Why chaotic? Because it's holiday time. My two kids, my husband, my dog, everybody's home, so you might hear a bunch of things in the background. It's all right because I really want to watch it. It aired yesterday, and today is Monday. And if I keep going on social media, I will be spoiled, and I don't want to be spoiled, so I want to do it today. It's going to be a very roughly edited video because it's the holidays, so I'm going on vacation. Well, on vacation, I'm going to see family today, so I have to film, upload, all that stuff. Let's talk just really quickly about this sweater because I just finished it, and it's the first time I wear it, and I'm absolutely in love. This is the Iris sweater, Iris pullover by Trin Anili, and it was a joy to work on. It took a very long time because it's tiny needles, tiny yarn, very intricate design. I also ran out of yarn, so it took forever to pick it back up, but I am so happy. It is delightful. I knit it in Knit Picks Palette, which is their fingering weight wool, 100% non-superwash wool, perfect for this kind of color work. I have no words. I'm really happy. I think it might be my highlight of 2025. I'm really glad I finished it. That being said, we are watching the last episode of Game of Wool. There are three contestants left. I would have to, I want to say that they did a very good job at typecasting them, meaning there's Holger, who's the front runner, the professional. He always does everything really well. They're even like in the thumbnail that I see on YouTube, which is, it's on YouTube, so it might not be the actual thumbnail for the show on the website. Holger's standing with his three, sheep pin. Then next to him is Lydia with her two sheep pin. And then next to her, Elsa with her one sheep pin. So they're already placing them in a certain order. And I feel that's how they've been wanting us to see them. So it's Holger, the front runner, Lydia, the underdog trying to get gun for first place. Basically, one thing I don't love is that I feel like they've been trying to place Lydia as the bad girl the whole show. They've been showing a lot of her commentary that makes some people feel like she's mean and she's, trying to place Holger under the bus and things like that. I don't see that at all. I see a girl who is passionate and is amazing and is fun and quirky and has a lot of spunk, but in a positive way. So if you are of the people that have, online said negative comments about Lydia's attitude, please, shame on you, because it's all in the editing. They took things out of place to make it seem a certain way. Anyway, so Lydia's kind of the underdog that could win, in my opinion, but we'll see. And then Ilsa is the perfectionist, the very more quiet and subdued type of girl who right now is feeling out of place. So she's definitely taking the low spot because last week she was feeling down. All that stuff. So I'm very curious what narrative they choose to push, because obviously it's already decided before they even air the show. And obviously before they air the show because they have to edit it. But what I mean is it's decided before they even probably film the show. All the contestants are under strict NDAs, so they are not allowed to talk about a lot of things. But now that the last episode has aired, I'm curious to have their point of view online. I'm going to be looking out for that, and I might come back and talk about some things. I do have a video in mind for next week about how I would do Game of Wool, like the Clonits Game of Wool. I'm gonna put on my microphone here so I can knit while I watch and talk. I'm still working on, now that this sweater is done, I literally have two sweaters on the needles. At some point I had five. So I have two sweaters on the needles. I haven't worked on that very much because I was finishing this. So I'll be working on this sleeve. Let's go, I'm excited. I don't need to see the I'm gonna watch it previously on because it's the last one.
10 of the nation's most talented knitters embarked on the woolly adventure of a lifetime.
We can do this. We can.
Knitting like no one has ever knitted before.
It's workout.
Stitching up Michelin star suppers.
And making Sunday roast.
Right. Suppers.
Olympic style swimwear.
I just really wanted to make something that would make you
Swimwear.
And even high fashion for our furry friends.
I always
Dog
I see
outfits.
something beautiful.
We've seen 7 chic badges for outstanding craftsmanship.
The sheep badge. Thank you.
7 knitters cast off. And now only 3 remain.
Holger with the biggest fucking ball of roving on the hugest needles on his shoulder. He looks like he's totally faking the smile. I love it.
Game of Wool. The needles have been sharpened of Game of Wool.
Okay, so one other thing that I didn't really talk about much during these reviews, the stakes are really low. Like, the only thing they're gaining is the title of Britain's Best Knitter, which they know is bullshit. And these golden knitting needles, like, it's not even pretty. Like, I wouldn't even want to, like, put that in my office as decoration. And Tom's outfit today is made out of gigantic loops of I-cord. So if you want to make one of those, you could. You just take a lot of wool of the same color. You make a lot of I-cord, and just loop-de-doop. You would get stuck in everything, but you know.
To win the accolade of Britain's best knitter.
Can we talk about the donut in the hair? Come on, Di. Well, it's not her. They are making her wear that, but oh my god, she's got a full-on knitted donut. I don't know if it's knitted or wrapped, but like, come on. She looks like a Teletubbies. The Teletubbies, dis, bonjour. Yeah, I watched it. I when I was a child and it was out, that was when TV was only in French in my house.
So, it's time to reveal what your final group challenge is. Di and Sheila would like for you to work as one team to transform the Game of Wool postbox. Yes.
Oh my god. I'm frustrated. I'm mad. I'm mad because, like, it's the final, and this is a ridiculous challenge in my opinion. I haven't seen yet what they're gonna do, but like, do a post box, whatever they call it, cover representing the judges? What? Like, first of all, knit a Teletubby. You're good, because like literally the donut, and she's got like the balloon pants and green shoes, and like that's what she looks like, unfortunately. Like, I'm not saying anything about like them as women, great, but like the styling. And they have to use all the techniques that they've used throughout the whole season. Give me nothing. Like, okay, so I'm gonna stop the camera for a little bit and see what happens, and I'll come back when I have more commentary, but I wanted you to have the live reaction of what the challenge is, because like, come on, 12 hours to do that. They didn't say anything about knitting or crocheting, so I'm guessing they can do both. And they didn't say anything about yarn. They just said that the haberdashery was full and they could take whatever they want. So hopefully there's literally some of everything there, and they have to work all together to create that thing. How is that gonna be? Like, that's not easy to then split who did what. They're gonna have to split who did what. Yeah. I don't know. Well, at least they're having a laugh. Like, at some point, like, their laugh is almost like, looks like pressure relief. Like they're about to break down, but they're laughing. They're working together, which I appreciate that the three of them are working together. It shows how they look very comfortable with each other, to be fair. Like, it's not a competitive vibe when they're sitting there on the couch working on the same thing. Maybe I'm missing some context, like cultural context, because it seems like the way Tom says it, like a post box cover is like something that people see around around England, it's yarn bombing, obviously. Which when it's yarn bombing here in Montreal, the most I see is like yarn bombing, often like a tree or an electricity post or maybe a lamp post. It's rarely something like we don't have those post box yarn bombing ever? Does that happen? Like if you're from England or if you've been a lot to England, is it something that happens a lot or are they making it up? The other thing is obviously they have to crochet a lot of it because like structurally making figurines in knitting is again much longer, much more difficult. They have to showcase different things, and it just kills me that they say technique, they name techniques, and then the what they show is not what they say. Like they said, they're gonna have to do all the techniques, including Fair Isle, and then they show like Lydia's jewelry thing that had nothing to do with Fair Isle whatsoever. And to be fair, they didn't do Fair Isle at all. Like they did stranded knitting, but like they're not even really showing what they're saying, and it really annoys me that like they're like, oh, now more than ever, they're gonna have to be perfect. They always have to be perfect because that's the game, that's the show, that's what they have to do. They have to be perfect in order to stay in the competition, right? But also, like Tom goes, sits down, and his question to them is, the judges want perfection, no mistake. How are you gonna make sure you show them no mistake and perfection? What could they answer to that? The only answer is try to not make mistakes. Like how, like that question is comes back over and over again, and it's ridiculous in my opinion as far as like being a host. Like it's not a question that would make them talk. So the answer is nothing. They laugh because what are you going to answer? Anyway, let's keep going. Is it me or is it a bit mean to have them revisit all the challenges that put them through hell? Like I'm seeing Lydia do the sofa cover and she's like, I'm never gonna do a sofa cover ever again in my life after this. And I understand. Trust me, I would feel exactly the same way. I don't know. That just feels mean for a finale. It's time for judging. I want to see what they say live.
Oh, wow. Wow. Congratulations. Goodness me. Well done.
I love it.
Well done, all
That
of you.
is really something else.
It's on the move.
I really do like that, and I love my bit of lace.
Well, she did the little
That's
lace on
very
top.
Perceptive.
So the top of the post box, I really don't know what they might be.
Fields. It's Scotland.
Yes.
Okay, so that was a challenge that, in my opinion, did nothing. Like it's all cute and heartwarming, whatever. But like as far as competition goes, it did nothing, right? Everybody did amazing. The judges had negatives and positives the same way they had before, which is very. Each doll had some, oh, this is cute, and oh, this is not as well finished. Everyone. And then, oh, I don't know what this is. It's Scotland. It needed sheep. Okay. But like, no one from this challenge is higher place or lower place because they all work together, and what they had to make is quite, I don't know how to say it. It's not a technical challenge. It's a do what you can with what you have kind of challenge. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen once they announce the second challenge, and I'm going to keep filming live while...
I knew the hells would come up in the judging.
It is. The solo challenge is upon us. So, Di and Sheila want you to create a showstopper of a hat.
A hat.
What I really want is something that actually defines you, tells us about you as a knitter, and shows off your skills, your story.
You can use any yarn,
Thank God. Thank God.
any technique.
Thank God.
We will need to see flawless execution,
Obviously.
and a signature style. Very best of luck.
You heard the ladies. You are going to have 12 hours
12
to
hours
knit
for a
up
hat.
storm and create a showstopper of a hat. Your time starts now. Let's get knitting.
Showstopper hat. It could be a lot of things. Like they didn't mention if they want, they'd only mentioned that it had to have a signature style. So I guess the capacity to see that it's Elsa, Lydia, Holger. At this point, we've seen them enough to maybe know what they would make, but at the same time, they haven't asked them for like personal style so much throughout the season, so I don't know. Yeah. Secondly, a hat doesn't take that long to knit, obviously. So 12 hours for a hat is plenty of time. So they have time to think about it, design it, choose the yarn. They get to use whatever yarn they want, thank God, and whatever technique they want. But at the same time, they did not, the only thing that they asked them was for it to be a showstopper, signature style, and, you know, perfect, obviously. Are they gonna go like completely like avant-garde? Like, does it have to be wearable? Is it gonna, anyway, we don't know how they're gonna judge. They're gonna judge based on their personal preference. So if I were to be competing in that, I would try and go for something that I feel Di and Sheila would like. Also, what the hell's going on with like the rectangle folded and pinned at the side for Sheila? Like, it's literally just a blanket. I'm confused. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna stop my camera because it's overheating, and then I'll get back to you when I have something to say. Yay. We've gone around to all three designs. I love that they are all so different. Nobody's doing just a plain old winter hat or whatever. It's the shaping is different for everyone. The techniques are different for everyone. This is exactly what they wanted. And I'm happy to see that they could bring literally any yarn. Like, it doesn't even have to be from the yarn barn. So Lydia brought her own hand-dyed yarn, which is amazing. Because she's got a beautiful hand dyeing company. I'm surprised that Lydia cast on the wrong number of stitches and noticed once she was done with the brim, because like with this kind of challenge, you would think that you would like count your stitches at least 3 times to make sure that you have the right number, because if your color work or her increased ratio relies on a number of stitches of the brim, I mean, it might not matter in the end, but I'm just really surprised that it took her so long to notice that she didn't have the right number of stitches. I love everybody's take on it. This is, you know, much more interesting than I initially thought it would be, only because the knitters themselves are interesting people, you know?
With her brim, rather than start again, Lydia has decided to keep pushing forward with the rest of the design.
I mean, that's the right decision.
To have a tighter rib. It's fine. Probably just need a little bit of elastic just to slightly tighten the rib up a little bit.
This bit is really crucial. It's important to consider every stitch. We'll let you get on with it.
Hi, Tom.
They asked her what the advantage of doing it in panel is. They know. They're just asking because the show needs that kind of information. At the same time, thank you. That's the kind of information that is interesting to know. Why would you knit something in panel versus in the round? 1, there's more structure. 2, you can seam up things without having to worry where you did the increase and decreases, because increasing and decreasing in a color work like this is very tricky. So you need seams to kind of show where there's a break, or to be able to seam it up seamlessly. Yeah.
How's it going?
Yeah, it's starting to...
So not surprisingly, everybody's running out of time. Holger's long cap is probably going to have to be shortened, which is a problem because they talked a lot about how he created a very precise decrease. How do you call it? Not a calculation. Like, I'm losing my words, but like he had to calculate exactly how many decreases at what point it had to do them so they're not obvious, and it creates a beautiful like point. But now he's not going to be able to finish his point, so he's going to have to figure out a way to finish it so it doesn't look like it was not meant to be that way. Lydia is putting elastic in her rib because it is bigger than what she initially wanted it to be. So is it going to show? Is it going to pucker? We don't know. Elsa has to sew things really precisely, and I'm sure there's going to be something that's not going to be as precise as the judges want because they've been harping on it. Harping on it a lot. But I feel like for me, the most stressful of them three is Elsa, because if things are not sewn together, obviously Holger can just decide to like close everything and put the pom-pom and be done. It's not going to be perfect, but at least it's going to be functional. Lydia, I mean, I guess at the same time, if Lydia doesn't finish it, there's going to be a hole at the top of a beret, so that doesn't work either. But I don't know, somehow Elsa's seaming is what stresses me out the most, maybe because I'm not used to knitting things in panels so much, so that's something unknown to me, which stresses me out more. Tom has been around to everyone, and they've all had their cute little, heart-to-heart moment. I feel like the editing probably pushed it. Like they probably, the producers said, you need to go dig for something to talk about that's emotional, and that the audience will go, oh, that's cute. Obviously. So obviously they went to Lydia's being a mother, and Elsa with her vintage, the past, connecting to the past type of thing. And Holger had this moment of, I'm a perfection. He had been, they pulled out some old footage from them, like facing the camera. So you get that Holger's footage was probably from like the first episode, saying that he is perfectionist to a fault. Like him being perfectionist means that he wants to please people. So there has this moment. So, it's all in the trying to play with our emotion type of thing, which it's okay, but it doesn't move me because I know it's scripted-ish. The other thing is, it's so formulaic. Like every episode, okay, there's 6 hours to go, there's 1 hour to go, but every time he says that, it's like the same type of empty phrase that's like, now that there's 6 hours left, they should be moving on to the crucial part of their thing. Yeah, what is it? And then now that there's only 1 hour left, they should be doing the finishing to make sure that all the touches are perfect. Like, it's just extra things that I'm starting to get tired of. So, yeah, change it up a little bit, change the formula. I don't know. Maybe people are feeling a sense of comfort in repeated stuff every episode. I don't know.
I don't know, kind of like the gravity of it is sort of hitting. So yeah. Whew, I feel sick.
This means the knitters. They all want to win. They all want to finish.
Yes, they all want to win. No way.
To cross that woolly finish line.
Yeah, I think that's me.
That is it. You did it. You completed the game of wool.
I don't know if Holger had to change his point or not. I guess we'll know during the judging. They're probably going to ask him. I hope they get to block their knits before they judge. Like, it's the final. Give them a blocking, like a moment. Like, I just blocked this sweater. Yesterday, I tried it on and I was like, this is pre-blocking. And then I blocked it. And then the feeling of putting on or seeing a blocked, finished, the right dimensions and everything garment is so much better. It's so much prettier. Please let them block it. I'm sure they're not gonna, but that's what I want.
Elsa, is that?
Thank you, Elsa.
Well done, Elsa.
The shape is so cool.
Next up,
Of Elsa's hat.
And I think anybody would love to wear that hat.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lydia, and well done.
It's a real knitter's piece. And I absolutely do love it.
Thank you, Holger, and well done.
Thank you.
Thanks, Holger. Thank you.
Before the judges do their round table type thing, I absolutely love the three pieces, by the way. The three pieces are great. They made it to the finale. It's not surprising that the three pieces are great. Ailsa's, attention to detail probably would have been better if they had more time. Just saying. So obviously, the seam could have been done better if she had time to undo it, redo it to make sure it was just right. Change of battery. I absolutely love the shape of Ailsa's hat. I think with the flip thing, it's constructed beautifully, and the little detail of the Game of Wool message on the inside is super cute. Lydia's hat is gorgeous. Personally, my opinion, I think the hand-dyed yarn, the style of the hand-dyed yarn, meaning it being variegated, takes away from all the details that she put in. Personally, I think that a lace pattern and a colorwork pattern, a stranded colorwork pattern, works best in more crisp colors. The contrast of the two colors was not as high as I personally would have liked, but again, it is a matter of personal preference. And so I feel like having a yarn that was much more like, it could have still been hand-dyed but with less variation, personally, I think would have made the thing pop a little bit more. The watch capper hat, I don't know how he calls it, but Holger's hat is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Like, I know they've been putting him as a front runner the whole show. There's definitely a reason for it. He creates beautiful things. The stranded colors that he chose makes so much sense. The point, like, it's really difficult. Like they haven't. I don't think they've said enough how difficult it is to work decreases for crowns or points or things like that in pattern for it to look like it's meant to be that way. It has to be designed in the pattern because you can't just keep going and just put decreases just anywhere. It is really a hard job to make a hat with that many decreases look cohesive and nice and like it flows. So they didn't like the picot edge. I like the picot edge. Maybe it could have been done with smaller needles or with the inside of the picot edge be in ribbing for it to tighten because it flares out just a tiny bit. But then again, if he would have been able to block it, it probably would have gotten back to the right size. And I want to talk on that about like a previous episode, the cardigans. They were talking about the cardigan, Lydia and Simon's cardigan was flaring out because of the eyelets and garter stitch just after the ribbing. And someone had mentioned, well, they didn't get to block it. And again, that's something that I didn't think about when I was critiquing it that week, but same thing goes for that one. Probably the blocking would have made it look different. So let them block it. And then that whole situation is it's a moot point. So, or it's a moo point, as Joey would say. Let's see what they say. I think a Holger is going to win.
Weeks and 16 high-stakes stitch-offs, it's finally time to announce the winner. And to celebrate, the yarn barn has been packed to the rafters with knits from across the competition.
Also, I don't know if they're judging based on like the whole journey or just the last episode.
And we've welcomed back a few familiar faces.
Yay, they got everybody back.
Oh, wow.
I love it.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, look at this.
Wow. Look at the hat.
I love the striped sweater Gordon is
I
wearing.
feel a bit tearful. It's bringing up so many feelings.
Cute. Families are there. Aww.
Truly fantastic achievement.
A good family moment will always bring tears to my eyes. Even though, it's scripted, I'm like...
It's incredibly difficult to judge.
So ladies, have you decided who will be the very first winner of Game of War?
We have.
The ridiculous needles and Hank of
Well
wool.
done, knitters. The time is finally here. So the knitter winning the title of the Game of Wool Britain's Best Knitter is Holger.
We knew it. I'm happy for him. They also framed this journey as being the more difficult one, like he's had a hard time.
It's massively overwhelming.
Holger won, and his last interview, I find it very interesting that he said it is really something special to be named, and I thought he was gonna say Britain's best knitter, but he said the winner of this competition because he knows that it's not about finding Britain's best knitter for real, and I appreciate him for saying it that way. He also said that he made beautiful friendships, which I'm sure they all did. I feel like knitting can sometimes be a very solitary hobby, but creating opportunities to meet people and make friendship through knitting is so important. And I absolutely appreciate that they, got to hang out with other knitters in that way. I want to finish this whole thing by saying I'm pretty sure they're gonna have a second season because they said on their social media and I think on their website something exciting is coming up. So I think they're gonna be opening auditions for another season. I truly hope that for a second season they listen to knitters. I know some people enjoyed the show, like it's fine, but I hope that they listen to knitters and that they reframe the way they do the show. Hire someone else to write the challenges because someone had to come up with the challenges, and I cannot believe that it would be the judges. I don't think the judges chose the challenges. If they did, well, my second point stands. They should change judges. Period. Whether or not they are the ones writing the challenges, the judges are not right for this type of show. I don't think that they did the best job. I think that it was a what Di and Sheila like type of show rather than a more objective look on what knitting is. They said something about like they went above and beyond, or they went beyond what knitting can do, and I'm like, what? Have you seen what knitting can do? Because it's kind of coming back to the Hang Green video. If you've seen the Hang Green SciShow video on knitting, it feels a little belittling to say that this show pushed the boundaries of knitting. Because ultimately, there was very few things that were usable, wearable, that came out of this show. And so to say that it pushed the boundaries of knitting is kind of, it feels like you've put blindfolds on like this, blinders, you put these things on, des œillères in French, and you said, we're doing the best, we're doing the best type of work. Nothing is being done that can touch what we're doing, and that's so not true. Like there's so many more things that you could have done with this show to push them to be the best type of knitters. And that's why I'm gonna make a video about what I would do if I was the one producing this show. Obviously, I have no knowledge of like the budget and that would be just like what kind of challenges do I feel could be put in a show like this one. If you're interested, let me know if that's something you would love to see. That being said, I ended up enjoying getting to know these knitters. That's really the highlight of this show for me, is getting to know these particular knitters, the people they are. They were troopers. They worked so hard, and I want to say to all of them, you did amazing. And I want to say to the producers and editors and the people working on the show, do better, please. For the craft, for the hobby that we know and love, do better on the second season. I will be watching because obviously that's what I do for a living. I'm a knitter. I'm a knitting content creator. And so it is, I think, part of what I should do to be looking at what's going on around me. and I will continue watching and critiquing. If you're watching as the show is ending, have a very beautiful holiday time of the year, and I will see you very soon. Bye!